few people that'll be joining online. I'm gonna do a different camera angle this morning because I think I left my tripod in Houston. Cool. I'll give it like 2 minutes or so before we get started. But in the meantime, we can arrive on our mat and just put all the things from the past about the future and take a moment to kind of just arrive. He's gonna do that for a bit and then he will get the message. I'll be right back, okay? Alright. I just got him like 3 weeks ago, and he's a farm dog, so he will help me on the farm that I'm building. And that'll be the headquarters for BP Harmony. In the future, it's about 1.5 hours southeast in a town called Columbus. And that's where I'll do like weekend retreats and stuff like that. So, all right. So, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Sunday morning yoga. And this is BP Harmony, a resource, a support system, and a community for holistic bipolar disorder recovery. And today we have a few people logged in online. Thank you for joining me this morning. And we've got one person here on site. So you always have the option to come join me on site here in Austin, Texas. And I mentioned earlier that I'm in the process of building the official headquarters for BP Harmony. It's a beautiful piece of land, and I'm building on it right now. And there's just a lot of quiet. There's water, there's animals, there's birds, and it's something that is a space meant to optimize healing and recovery. So I will go ahead and take some suggestions. I've seen a few suggestions on the comments, and then if you have comments on things that you would like to work on today, I have a specific game plan for today, but I always like to cater it to the specific needs of the community. So I've got some requests online to focus on lower back, and then do you have any requests for today that you'd like to work on? Any parts of your body, any particular pose, and even something that's not physical you want to kind of address in today's practice?
Me personally, shoulders and hips, I would
Okay.
say, are probably problems.
Okay. And are you able to associate those problems or those areas of the body with anything deeper, anything emotional?
No.
Okay. Well, I will invite you to find the connection between, the tightness in the body and some kind of emotion or some kind of memory that may be causing that constriction. And sometimes it could just be overwork and an injury possibly, so it doesn't have to be. But sometimes there are emotions that make that area tight and constricted. And so when addressing those, like kind of facing those emotions and moving that part of the body, it provides that release. Okay. So today the practice is titled Yoga for Sleep Recovery. Sleep is the first pillar that I talk about for bipolar disorder recovery. The other 4 pillars of nutrition, movement, mindfulness, community, they're strong pillars, but none of them really matter if you're not getting your sleep right. And so what happens in life when we are dealing with disturbances in our sleep And in many cases, if you boil it down, in bipolar disorder is just a disturbance in sleep, a disturbance in the circadian rhythm, because then everything else just becomes so magnified. Whatever issues we have or stressors that we have in life, when you're not getting good quality sleep, it just makes everything worse. Your propensity for bad behaviors, addictions, bad decision making, the symptoms that are associated with bipolar disorder, like racing thoughts and mood swings and brain fog, all of it boils down to sleep. So I emphasize sleep above all, and the other pillars in many cases are in service to this pillar of sleep. Good sleep hygiene begins the moment we wake up, and having a good diet, having a good exercise practice, having a sense of community and belonging all help in recalibrating our bodies to a more optimized state that is designed for quality sleep. So let's simulate what happens when you go to bed at 1 o'clock and you got to report to work at 6 a.m. And you're like, shoot, like I'm already I'm already struggling with going to sleep. It's gonna take an hour to fall asleep, and I'm gonna be so groggy in the morning, like I don't know why I stayed awake, but I had to, but I didn't really have to. And then these thoughts go and go and go while you're trying to fall asleep, and before you know it, it's 3 o'clock already. And you're just like, what am I gonna do tomorrow? And then you maybe fall asleep for a bit, but it's not enough. And you wake up and you're groggy and you're tired. So before we go into what we should do, let's talk about what not to do when we wake up from a poor quality sleep. The first thing, which might be quite alien and a little bit difficult to do at first, is to abandon coffee and tea in the morning. Poor sleep and then kind of jacking ourselves up with a heavy dose of caffeine will kind of get you going, but inside you still feel tired and exhausted. What I recommend is breath work and getting a good hearty breakfast, and also getting sunlight in the eyes. Sunlight to hit our pupils in the mornings for at least 10 minutes, but to try to get it to 25 to 30 minutes. But that can, that's something to work up to, but to try to do 10 minutes in the morning. So what we're going to do this morning is we're going to practice a breathwork exercise that helps to elevate the energy when we don't get a good night's rest, but it also helps to prepare for the nighttime in getting a good night's rest by starting right. So it is called the Wim Hof breathing technique, and it is a series of inhales and exhales that we do 30 times, and on the last exhale we hold our breath for 30 seconds. And I'll use my hands to kind of give you an idea of when to inhale and when to exhale. You inhale with the nostrils, and if your nasal passages are clear, you can exhale with the nostrils, but you can also exhale with the mouth as well. So what we're going to do is inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. You will feel your blood kind of pump. You'll feel your heart rate come up. You might feel a little bit lightheaded. If that happens and you feel like you're going to pass out, just make sure you're not driving and you're not in a pool. And you can slow down the breathing if you're feeling like you're going to pass out. But this is what is going to elevate the body and really oxygenate the blood. It's going to fill our blood with rich levels of oxygen with our red blood cells. And then when we hold the breath, you'll be surprised how long you can hold your breath because there's so much oxygen in the body. So let's begin. Come down to a comfortable seated position. We'll straighten our spine, broaden our shoulders by bringing our fingers onto our shoulders, and then drop our palms onto our laps and then straighten the neck. Imagine that the head is a float on water and that you relieve all tension in the neck. When we inhale, we're going to inflate the belly. And when we exhale, deflate the belly. If it helps, you can place your hand on your belly to kind of help with the coordination, but if you feel good, you're good. So inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Okay, so we're going to do that 30 times. Are you ready? Breathe in. Breathe out. Deep breath in with ease, out with stress. Close your eyes if it helps, if it's overstimulating. Fully in and let it go. Halfway there. Ten more. Last 5, give it your best. Last one, fully in. And let it go. And stop the breath. 30-second breath hold. Feel the body. Notice your heartbeat. Notice the heat being generated from the increase in your blood pressure. Be aware of your heartbeat. Relax and slow it down. And just be in this moment. Notice the tension of the body. Allow for the blood to flow into those tight corners. 15 more seconds. And that's totally okay if you can't hold. If you want to hold it longer and you're watching this recording, you can pause the video. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a deep breath in and hold for 15 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it go. We're going to do 2 more rounds of that. Now that if this was your first time, it's a little bit scary, you get a little lightheaded, you're like, oh, what's going on? Now that you know this whole rhythm, your body will be a bit more relaxed. So sink into the practice. Close your eyes if you feel distracted. But if you need to see my hands, feel free to do so. So are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Breathe in, out, fully in, and exhale. No pause in between inhale and exhale. Just a nice cycle. That's 10. Inflate the belly, deflate the belly. Ten more. Five more. Give it your all. Fill that body with oxygen. And exhale. Feel your body. Feel the areas that are calling for your attention and simply observe. Is it the lower back? Is it the shoulder? Is it the back of the neck? I'm noticing it in the back of my neck. If you breathe before I give the cue, that's okay. Just take a couple of breaths to recover and go back to the breath hold, because your body is still filled with oxygen. Fifteen more seconds. Inhale in 3, 2, 1. Let it in. And hold for 15 seconds. Exhale in 3, 2, 1. Let it go. All right, by now you might be feeling a different state of consciousness. A little bit elevated, but also grounded a little bit at the same time. So we'll do one last round. Ready? All right. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Inflate the belly, and exhale, deflate the belly. Ten more. Last one. and let it go. Wim Hof suggests, 1 minute, 90 seconds. It's really not about the time. It's about getting to that edge where you feel the urge to breathe, pushing yourselves maybe 5-10 seconds more, and then taking a breath. Relax the shoulders, relax the neck, and just feel. However your body is feeling, check in and see, is it feeling different from before the 3 rounds of breathing? When I first started this practice, I could only do 30-second breath holds. But now I've gotten to the level where after 5 rounds of breath, I can hold my breath for 3 minutes. So it's an incremental practice. It's not something that you're good at necessarily in day 1. But when I was in the last stages of my tapering, I did this every morning and every evening. And it's what finally liberated me from medication. Not having to use drugs to fall asleep, not having to use drugs to get me going in the day. So inhale in 3, 2, 1, let it in, and hold for 15 seconds. Exhale in 3, 2, 1, let it go. All right, so we've activated our nervous system, we've activated our cardiovascular system, so let's get our body moving with this extra boost of natural energy that we just gave ourselves. All right, put our hands together, generate some heat. Inhale up. And exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale down. For the next one, we're going to aspire to bring our biceps in between our ears. Inhale up. And from here, exhale, tilt to the right. Feel that open up in these rib cage and your hip area. And back to the center. Inhale and exhale to the left. Back to the center. Inhale. Bring your hands down, cactus arms. Puff out the chest. And invert the cactus arms. And from here, we're going to grab our hands behind our back. Extend straight and look up. Take a deep breath in. If you cough like I always do, that's okay. And make some circles with the neck. 3 times clockwise, 3 times counterclockwise. And just feel all that nice crunchiness. Change the direction of your rotation. You will notice that typically one side is tighter than the other. What does that tell you? All right, we'll switch our legs because to keep our hips even. Inhale up. And exhale, bring the right hand to the left of the left knee and twist. Inhale up. And exhale, left hand to the right of the right knee. Inhale up. Inhale up. Bring the hands together and back to center. We're going to, I'm going to bring my right knee is a little bit injured, so I'm going to make a little adjustment. I'm going to bring my left hand onto my right knee, and I'm going to drop my left shoulder onto my left knee. And from here, I'm going to extend my hand up, look down. Inhale up, exhale down. Now for that shoulder work, we're going to make 3 big guitar circles. Pichiao, pichiao, and breathe. Continue to breathe. Meet your edge, and once you make 3 circles, change the rotation. Feel all that lactic acid release and come back to the center. One thing we want to do when practicing is kind of keep the body relaxed, and when we're meeting our edge and it gets a little edgy, we breathe through it. We let that release occur, because a lot of our emotional pain is because of holding it in, holding it tight, not letting it go. And so what the body, when we activate the body, it actually helps release a lot of the emotional pain that is tied and connected to our physical pain. So now we'll take our right hand, place it on our left knee, drop our right shoulder onto the right knee. We'll bring our hand up, look down, inhale up, exhale down. And from here, we'll do 3 big guitar circles. 1, and breathe through it. 2, and 3. And from here, we'll do the other side. And we come back up. All right. Are we feeling a little bit more open than before? Jesse, how are you feeling?
Better.
Feeling better. Excellent. Love to hear it. So we're going to kind of excite our hips a little bit by coming into a squat pose. And from here, if you can kind of sink all the way down to your heels, that's great. But if you can't, you can kind of lean forward as well. And from here, we're just gonna kind of sway side to side. Feel this like kind of sits bone. It's gonna kind of open up a little bit. We're gonna warm up our wrist by bringing our hands together, and I'm going to flip my right hand and apply some pressure to kind of activate my wrists. Do the other side. Left hand this time. Still sway side to side, forward, backwards. All those hip muscles, kind of activate them with the shifting. Okay, from here, we're going to do the same thing we did while we were sitting down. We're going to put our right hand onto the left knee, and from here, we're going to stretch our left hand up, look down, look up, breathe, look down, and come back down. Bring the left hand onto the right shoulder, look up, raise the shoulder, breathe, look down, look up, and look down. And we'll sit back down. Awesome. We'll make our feet out wide into a 90-degree angle. And from here, I'm going to take my left pointer finger and I'm going to grab my left big toe. If I can't grab my left big toe, I try to grab my ankle. If I can't grab my ankle, I come to my shin. So from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to aspire to bring my left elbow inside my shin. You really kind of will feel it in the groin muscle, we'll feel it in the hamstring, and again, we're really going to work the shoulders today. We're going to bring that right arm up, look up, look down, continue to breathe. And now what we're going to do is we're going to aspire to bring our right arm to meet our left toe, but still keep the bicep to the right of our right ear. Basically, when you look up, the arm should be to the right side of your vista, so that the stretch is in your intercostal muscles more. And breathe. Breathe through it. Let gravity do the work of opening you up. And back up. Yeah, may feel a little cramp. All right. We'll grab our pointer finger and, ooh, I'm getting a little cramp. Our pointer finger and bring it around our big right toe. Extend to make a 90-degree angle. Drop your elbow into the inside of the shin, and that really kind of makes it juicy. And from here, we will look up first and then raise the arm up. Look up, look down. Breathe in and up and down. Up, inhale. Down, exhale. Up, inhale. And down, exhale. And back to the center. What we're going to do is bring our feet together into a butterfly pose. From here, we're going to open up our heels like a book. We're going to straighten our spine, and when we inhale, we move forward and sink in to open up our groin muscle and our lower back. Let gravity do the work and sink in. Aspire to bring your elbows onto the ground. And you'll notice with the groin muscle especially, that after maybe 7-8 seconds, it opens up. And we'll come back up. Ooh, nice and juicy and getting that lower back ready for some work. So we're going to extend our feet forward. And we're going to now activate and stretch out our lower back, our glutes, and our hamstrings some more. Bring our hands together. Inhale up. And as we forward fold, we aspire to keep our back straight and try to make connection with the sternum and the knee. And if you can bring your hands to your toes, that's great. But if you can't, it's no problem. You can bring it to your ankles, you can bring it to your shin, you can bring it to your knees. So inhale and exhale, forward fold. You will meet your edge. Hang out at your edge. You want to be in a comfortably edgy spot, and we don't want it to be painful. But Jesse, what I'd like for you to do is bring your hands to your shins. Yeah. And then drop the weight of your head. Yeah, there you go. Just allow gravity to kind of open up all parts of your spine from your head down to your tailbone. And just hang out in that zone that's like kind of comfortable and a little painful, a little, not painful, but edgy. And just allow gravity to open you up. And breathe. You might notice your jaw is tight. You might notice you're cursing yourself. That's okay. And we'll come back up. Feels fantastic. Coming up, we're going to bring our right foot in and bring it into our inner left thigh. And we're going to give our left foot a little bit more concentrated stretch. Inhale up and exhale, forward fold. Drop the weight of the neck. And continue to breathe. Inflate the belly, deflate the belly. We focus on the breath work in the beginning so that we become accustomed to breathing this way throughout the yoga practice as well as throughout the day. And back up. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Bring our right foot out, our left heel into our right inner thigh. Inhale up. And exhale, forward fold. Oh, this side is way tighter than the other side. For me. Drop the weight of the head. Just kind of sway side to side so you get the different parts of the hamstring. But at the end of the day, you just get much more like deeper connection with how your body works and what it's doing. And back up. So what we're going to do now is we're going to kind of activate our gut. So activating the gut, especially when you didn't get a good night's rest, it helps with, if you're having like incontinence or if you're having like bowel movement issues, then this is a great way. Like in yoga, they're called twist poses, and they help really with the detoxification process that we don't get when we don't get a good night's rest. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my left foot and place it to the right of my right knee. I'm going to place my left hand behind me, like kind of close to my left hip so that my back is erect. I'm going to take my hand, and you can just watch me this first time. I'm going to extend it. I'm going to twist with my core, twist with my shoulder, and then bring my right elbow to the left of my left knee. And then finally, I'm going to look as far back as I can. Okay? If this is a lot, you just follow me, okay? So, put your left hand, so you want your left foot to land up there, yeah. What you can do to help it is kind of bring your right foot over to the left side a bit, there you go. And from here, we're going to extend our hand up, inhale, exhale, twist with the belly, twist with the shoulder, bring the elbow to the left of the left knee. Now you'll feel that constriction of your guts, and then look as far back as you can and breathe. Now remember, the inflating of the deflating of the belly still applies. It's not about going as deep as possible. It's about going to a place that is your comfortably edgy space. Yoga is not about being the most flexible, the most bendy, the most balancy. It's about finding inner peace in between, in ourselves. And so if we are beating ourselves up during the yoga practice, that's not in line with what yoga is about. But these poses are designed to optimize our body's ability to heal itself. So one last time, we're going to sink deeper into the twist. And uncoil ourselves. Awesome. We'll do the same thing now on the other side. Bring our right foot to the left of our left knee. I'm going to take my right hand behind me to give myself some balance. I'm going to extend my left hand up and twist with my core, twist with my shoulders, bring the elbow down to the right of my right knee, and then look as far back as I can go, but really make the bind about starting from the core. Everything else is kind of in service to the bind of our core. Take a deep inhale and sink deeper into your twist. And exhale, uncoil. All right, onto our knees. We're gonna kind of open up our hips and work our shoulders one more time. So now that I'm on my knees, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to jut my right foot out to the right side. Did we do this last time?
I don't think so.
So, okay, this is a fun one. All right, so we're going to imagine that we have a giant beach ball that we're holding. And from here, it's not that giant, you can make it a little bit smaller, there you go. And then from here, I'm going to inhale and exhale over to the right side. And breathe. We'll come back to the center. And from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to swan dive. So just watch me the first time. I'm going to send my hips back, my arms up and down to the ground, and back up like that. Okay? This will really kind of get that hip mobility that we're looking for today. So inhale up, and exhale, swan dive. Inhale up, and exhale, swan dive. Inhale up, and exhale, swan dive. All right, from here, I'm going to take my right hand and place it on my right hip. I'm going to take my left hand up, and I'm going to bring it all the way back to my left foot. If the foot is too far, then you can bring it just up here behind your left hip. But if you want, you can bring it down to your left foot. And if it's too much, you can raise your foot up as well. But really, don't feel the urge to push, and you can kind of just keep your hand back behind in your lower back. But what we're going to do now, when we have found the position that is comfortably edgy for us, we're going to raise our right hand up. And it's such a beautiful looking pose. And we're going to imagine that our hand is a brush. We're gonna kind of thrust our hips forward to try to make them square. And we're gonna brush the ceiling. And breathe. Now the way to get out of this is to imagine someone is pulling your shirt and to come back up. Excellent. We'll do the other side now. Motion is lotion, as they say. So we'll imagine that we have that big giant beach ball. We want to make sure that our toes are facing forward. There we go. Inhale and exhale, tilt over to our left foot. Back to the center and swan dive. Back up. Inhale and exhale down. Inhale up and exhale down. Inhale up and exhale down. Inhale up. And from here, we'll do the same thing. We'll bring our hands together. I'm going to bring my left hand onto my left hip. I'm going to extend my right arm up. And wherever your arm can go, if you can make it all the way to the right foot, that's great. But square your hips to imagine there's a wall. There you go. That really kind of makes that quadricep activated. And from here, we will take our left hand, bring it up, and paint the ceiling. What a beautiful looking pose. If you want to do some cool looking photos for your social media, this is a great one. And pull yourself up as if someone is pulling you in the shirt. We're going to come on to our knees and we're going to sit down on our hips, or with our hips onto our feet to kind of stretch out our shin muscles. Take a deep breath and bring our awareness to our heartbeat. Hello, heart. How are you? How is the pump? How is the heat? How is the feeling? We relax our jaw, relax our eyebrows, our cheeks, our neck. Go back to building the pose from the ground up, rooting ourselves to the ground, straightening the spine, broadening the shoulders, and imagining that our head is a float on water. And return to the breath while we inflate and deflate the belly. We perform a scan. Today in Austin is Free Museum Day, but we have free museum every day when we perform the scan of the museum inside our body. So go ahead and bring your awareness to your toes. Wiggle your toes to help take your awareness there. And from there, let's move our awareness from the toes to our heel, to our ankles. And let's express gratitude to every corridor of our body that we visit, all the way up to the crown of our head. Try to really take your time. There's no rush. Really spend time. And if this position is getting uncomfortable, you can get into a comfortable seated position as well. But we want to, bring our breath to a relaxed state. Continue to make your way through to the top of the crown of your head, and once you make it to the crown of your head, you can bring your hands together. Yeah, if this position is too distracting, you can come into an easy pose as follows. Kind of just come into easy pose, or you can even lie down if that's comfortable. But whatever really helps you to visit the corridors of your body. There might be emotions stuck in these different parts of the body. That's okay. Let them surface. Your body is in really an optimized state to kind of let them run through you and release. Whether it be a grief, an anxiety, an anger, allow yourself to, when you're in this state, to see if something new presents itself. That finally that visitor that has been wanting your attention, that you give it the attention that it's been seeking. And once you give it the attention, what's fascinating is that it'll leave eventually. Provided it gets the requisite time it necessitates. Once you make it to the crown of your head, you can bring your hands together. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Thank you for joining me online. Thank you for joining me in person. I hope that we learned a valuable tool today when trying to recover from a poor night of sleep. We employ this breathing technique, this prana technique that is popularized on the internet and is known as the Wim Hof breathing technique. It's something that you can search on YouTube. There are several videos. It really helps me, kind of cough out all of the gunk because I'm having some severe allergies. It's a great way to boost your immune system. It's a great way to oxygenate your blood. It's a great way to get relaxed and feel very relaxed throughout your day and to also get a good night's rest. So if you're having trouble falling asleep, staying asleep, getting quality sleep, I highly recommend doing this practice when you wake up. It only takes 10 minutes, and doing it 30 minutes before going to bed. Sometimes I do it right before going to bed as well. I've had no issues with it. But again, do it in a place where you're not in a hazardous space because you get lightheaded and you don't want to God forbid, get into a car accident if you're doing it while driving, or you're in a swimming pool. So you want to be in a safe environment when doing this breathing technique. And there's a guided breathing practice, but you can also follow this video and go back to the portion of this recording and follow along with me as well. So thank you so much for joining me online, and thank you so much for joining me in person, and I'll see you all next week.